me drop a little 30 point on Carisha real quick. So anyway, the news came down today. The news came down today that out of the 50 side chicks that Diddy's juggling, and yes, I called y'all what y'all are, side chicks, Diddy's baby mom hasn't been... Hold on, let me put up a couple of these things real quick. You can't find Diddy's baby mom holding up goofy signs like this. If you a side chick and you proud, we love you. The notion that men don't like side chicks, this is why I didn't even want to argue with Young Miami. Without women like you, niggas couldn't balance a roster. We need a girl like you. Hopeless, lost, and thinking you're the number one, when in reality, y'all sharing that community dig. It's all good. You go, girl. You want to think you number one? Fine. Okay? But a man always chooses, usually with his resources, but when you're like Diddy, your resources are very plentiful. You choose with your family and who you choose to have a family with. Now, I know some people might be like, well, apparently this new girl, you know what I mean, Diddy didn't mean to have a kid with. Regardless, whoever the nigga nutting and trying to have a kid with, and the ones he don't have a kid with, tells you all you need to know. Okay? Now, Carisha, you know, she was upset at me today. And it wasn't that she was really upset at me. She was upset because the identity, and I told you what the identity of Diddy's baby mama was last night, got revealed. It's a young woman named Dana Tran, okay? No, she's not a rapper. She's not going around prancing, talking about how she's this and she's that. And Diddy's a smart guy. Because the likes of Young Miami, and I hate to say it, you could buy a Young Miami with 2 purses and a fucking lip kit and some lashes. That's how you get them bitches in line. I'm sorry to say, when I say bitches, I'm not talking about Young Miami at all. But women like those, few menial gifts gets them in line. Diddy has the resources. Here's a Maybach. She shut the fuck up. Here's a Maybach, and here's a show. Shorty's on like 6 episodes for like 6 months. Like, you can tell, like, Diddy's just coping with you, Shorty. Whatever. It's got her to shut up and be another notch under the belt and be another person on the roster. Women hate to acknowledge the truth. They all want to be queens, bosses. Oh, I'm not his side chick. I'm a boss of myself. No. We've heard the thirstiness. I could go back to it. You gave an infamous, stupid line. Young Miami. If you didn't realize how fucking stupid you sounded here, let me play back.
Single, but I'm dating.
The nigga who you are holding up signs for. Oh my God! Hold on, let me bring it up back. Bring it. The nigga who you fucking holding up signs for like a fucking groupie. Since we're at the point where I just gotta address you straight. You see this groupie-like behavior right here, Shorty? You're nothing but a side chick. I don't care what you want to think in your head. I don't care what gifts you get. Still a side chick. I don't care what you say to yourself. You could cry yourself to sleep, or you could be like, oh, I'm laughing, I'm crying in the Maybach instead of the fucking Toyota Corolla. Whatever you say, you the side chick. You can say, oh, no, well, you don't got a man. A man is going to choose with who he's going to be with. First of all, a man usually chooses with a title of girlfriend. Diddy has clearly said he's not willing to give you the title. He said he's single, right to your face, on your show, and you giggled through it and acted delusional. He said, I'm single. You said, well, we go together real bad. That sounds fucking cute, but you're just a side. I'm sorry. The entrees don't get treated like that. I'm sorry. The entrees don't get treated like that, Shorty. It's crazy, because this is probably the first time you're a side. But I ain't trying to go all fresh and fit for y'all. When y'all dealing with a big billionaire, that big B, yeah, your side chick quality for those niggas. I'm sorry to tell you. Another nigga who just worth maybe 1 or 2 million, he wife you up. But for Diddy, an old school player that done dated Cassie, that done dated, name me some people that they done dated. J-Lo, you know what I mean? Like, you know, let's talk about the celebrities, not some of the other people who are not celebrities. You just a notch under his belt. I'm sorry, shorty. I'm not saying this to put her down at all. Because I like Young Miami. I think she's a positive person. But here's the thing about most women. They act like they're accepting of the situation when in reality it's burning their soul. She's been in turmoil. This is why I keep telling y'all, don't listen to a Young Miami and most of these women when they're talking about a lifestyle that really they're coping with. You were burning up inside. Every day you saw Diddy getting massaged by another chick. He's dicking down another chick. Get leftover dick. What he didn't get from another chick, that's what you getting. Your pH balance is like a roller coaster, nigga. Just keep it a bean. But I know you want to create this whole thing. And let me tell you about this Young Miami. Because I see women like you trying to lie to young women. Don't lie to the young women. You supposedly got a bag. And you still in this lifestyle. So nobody cares about, I see you trying to shit on women, be like, chicks keep saying that I would never, but bitch, that's why I'm different. I would. No, you're not happy about that. You had a mental breakdown today. You had a fucking mental breakdown. Because at the end of the day, you realize you're nothing but a fucking cheerleader. Go Poppy. You should be outside the fucking, is that the weight room? Like, what's that waiting room for when people having birth? Why weren't you out there? Go Diddy, another child. You got mad at me because today it looked like you had that big red nose on. And don't say that, we just getting up in your business because you've been sharing your whole business. Ain't your show called Carisha, Please? Don't you bring Diddy on there who showed up and embarrassed you, but you try to play it off like you were some queen? Let me play the embarrassment. If you didn't know this was embarrassing, let me play it. I'm single.
Dating.
The nigga who you're holding up signs for said, I'm single and dating. And you still sat there like, I couldn't even call you boo-boo because that would be too much of a compliment for you. The nigga literally said, I'm single and dating. But you were cool with it back then because you got a Maybach, or let me say it correctly, a Maybach. And you got a fucking show. Your raps ain't making that much money. We know. Baby's making all the money for QC. I know. So you were cool with it back then. He did a whole interview on the Breakfast Club. Basically summing it up to, nigga, I'm living my hot boy summer. Well, it's fucking December. So you could be in this denial all you want. I'm just trying to tell you that because you've shared your life, and I'm not judging you based on your decisions. You are free to do whatever you want. If you want Maybachs and this and third, the thing is, you know you could probably afford those things without him. You want to act like you're cool with it because you're trying to brainwash other women to think that you're happy. You're not happy. What you did today was the most unhappiest thing I've ever seen a woman do. You were bothered by a title when a nigga literally stared you in your face and told you he wouldn't give you a title. He only called you friend. You're bothered by me calling you a side chick when a nigga looked in your eyes, in your soul. You grinned, and he called you a friend. You held up signs. Everybody at an award show was saying, who's this goofy doing this? We're going to get back to the thing in a second, but let me just finish her ass off for a second. Let me play the clip where my man just sat there and shat on you, and you took it and smiled, nigga. Don't get online trying to get a Big Act, because Big Act is one of those. You see what I did to your label mate Short Bus Baby? You not even halfway successful where you think you could, like, come on now. That's what I'm trying to keep it calm with you, because you know what? At the end of the day, I know people love to say I go at black women and go at women, but I do understand that you're hurt. You just realized the guy who you've been obsessing about, who seems to clearly and openly and have no problem sending signals about brother love and saying that he's loving multiple women in clearly a polygamous situation at nearly 50, he's basically saying that he's having a kid with another woman. You are hurting. And I want to send my prayers to you. I don't want to keep getting at you. So everything you said about me, which very objectionable, I could get at you about that. And I might point it out, but I'm not going to get at you about it. You know why? Because you're hurting. You're one of those women who get into these situations with men, and you're the proof that men can't be upfront. Because certain women be like, nah, tell us the truth and we'll be good. Deep down, they're not good. Diddy told you what it was. You ain't never gonna be the main. You a side dish. You an appetizer. You ain't never entree status. You playing your face and behind your back. He got a baby that's being born. You better get used to them Pampers. Huggies will be coming calling. You a babysitter at this point, but you won't get mad at him because you can't. He told you the truth. You told him you could deal with it. But now when it actually is here, and he probably didn't even give you the courtesy of telling you before it happened. So you know what you did? You found out about it just like me on TMZ. It hurt. Of course it hurts. All that city girl shit you was preaching, everybody seen you were a fucking hypocrite. All that city girl shit you were preaching, people see that was fucking hurt. You wanted a man to accept you. You wanted a man to make you a queen. All that, oh, rich nigga, just give me my money and I'm good. No, you were embarrassed. All that city girl shit y'all preached, that shit is not practical. Most of y'all go ahead and try to get a boyfriend. Even your labor mate got a boyfriend, or your group mate got a boyfriend. All of that shit, pimp these niggas out for money. When do y'all do it? Teach me the practicality. Doesn't happen. So now you're embarrassed. But you can't say nothing to the nigga. You know why? Because Diddy probably hit you with notice for paternity leave. You know why? Got a newborn. Got to go spend some time over there. Over that household. Kicking it with his new baby moms. Let me correct it. Baby moms, not side chick. Let me correct it. Baby moms, not side chick. Let me tell you how the hierarchy of shit works, shorty. Since you seem to be in denial. The wives are upper echelon. The girlfriends, current, are upper echelon. The baby mamas, they're kind of fluid because it's a baby mama. That's the key to your legacy. That's the other half to your offspring. But y'all, whether you want to admit it or not, you're in a harem. And it's interesting when you said I called you out your name. Like, I think you were reacting to my tweet, or maybe you were reacting. I did say your name on my live when I was on Twitch, but I didn't say your name in a tweet earlier, and I'll show you the tweet right now. This was my tweet. Let me show you the tweet that got her all bent out of shape. I said this. I said, Diddy is different. My nigga done fucked around and had a side baby on his harem of side chicks. Brother loves a real one. You know why I didn't say your name? Because you ain't the only one. You on a roster. You a Tuesday chick. And today not Tuesday. It's going to be tomorrow. Today not Tuesday. You're a Tuesday chick. Not good enough for the weekend and not a Friday. Tuesday. Also not hump day. Tuesday. What's your name? Tuesday. Okay? So I know you think you're Tuesday. And I seen your attempt. It was weak. I seen your weak attempt. You see, women like you love to call bullying and cry and, oh, I'm getting shamed, but you try to do the same thing. So let's also mention some of your tweets at me. Maybe you think side chick is that derogative. I actually don't think it is at all. I think a lot of people have realized side chick is not a derogative term if that's what you are. But let's talk about calling someone what they're not and using derogative terms. I didn't know what this, I thought every time he kept saying punk, I didn't know what that is. Apparently that's a derogative term for being a gay individual. I'm not gay. I care not. I don't even want you to be canceled. Also, if it was in the opposite way, and if I called you the B word, or if I called you something that was derogatory, you and the entire shade room and everybody would be calling for my head. But because you said something and you're basically using a gay slur, make no mention, in Florida, a punk, and I'm only using this in the context of explaining what she's calling me, is a derogatory term for a gay individual. Now, I don't want her to be canceled, but I'm just trying to show you the double standards. And this is why you get bent out of shape. Because if I said this to you or anybody else, this would be cancel-act. He's homophobic. But you say to me there's zero repercussions. Actually, there's a bunch of women. And this is another thing I do want to get to. Most women are usually overtly and blatantly and vocally homophobic more than men. Because there's no repercussions. Now, we could keep scrolling down. And I just want to show you, like, I'm keeping it light with you because you're a woman. And I realize it's just not even on the same, like, even if we're verbally sparring, I can't even get to go in like I would go in on a little baby or a Meek Mill or something like that. Because, you're going to say, oh, he's just bullying women. When I really handle the males worse. Y'all ever hear, I had D Savage. I was telling D Savage, check in that, check in that joint. You know what I mean? But because I know you're one of the people who, I just got to laugh at what you say because, women are coddled in this society. And if I said the same thing you said, I'd be up for cancellation. I'll even go to, okay, obviously everybody knows now I don't give two fuck about even, let me see if I can find it. I don't give a fuck about fat shaming in this and the third. I guarantee you wouldn't say this in Lizzo. You can sit your fat ass in the house all day, talking, come outside, police ass. I think she's trying to say Bati boy. Young Miami, I'm from Jamaica. I'm in Miami.